If the Eiffel Tower could speak, it would tell you stories you've never heard before, about secrets buried deep underground, dreams that reached for the skies, and historical injustices hidden behind its golden glow. Think you know everything about this iconic landmark? Don't be so sure. The Eiffel Tower isn't just a structure, it's a witness to time, holding untold chapters that will astonish, move, and sometimes even chill you to the bone. Forgotten people, hidden corners never revealed, and tales that once shook Paris to its core. All of these await discovery. Join me as we unveil the secrets of this iron giant, where every beam not only supports an icon, but also bears the weight of untold history. In 1889, as the last steel beams were locked into place, a 330-meter giant rose to dominate the Parisian skyline. At the time, no one believed this iron monster, met with disdain and scorn, would become an immortal symbol of an entire nation. Born amid fierce opposition, particularly from the Parisian intelligentsia and artists, it began as a temporary gateway for the World's Fair, but eventually stood the test of time to witness every triumph and tragedy of Paris. Those cold, steel beams, once unloved, were gradually warmed by the affection and pride of the people. From reviled to revered, the Eiffel Tower transformed into the radiant emblem of France. In the early 20th century, this iron giant proved its true worth to the world. Evolving beyond a mere architectural marvel, the Eiffel Tower became a hub for communication technology, broadcasting some of the first radio waves across Paris. It also served as a meteorological observatory and a laboratory for groundbreaking scientific discoveries. Even during the dark days of World War II, when Hitler ordered its destruction, the Eiffel Tower stood tall, defying all attempts to erase France's pride. From a despised iron monster, it became a beacon of hope, resilience, and defiance. But behind its dazzling, glamorous facade lie secrets few know. Beneath the tower, in the shadows of its grand beams, are untold stories waiting to be unearthed. Tales of the people who built it, the challenges they faced, and the dreams that soared as high as the structure itself. The Eiffel Tower, Paris's proud symbol and France's treasure, is not merely a work of art or engineering. Completed on March 31, 1889, it rose to 330 meters, becoming the tallest structure in the world at that time. Let's explore these mysteries together and understand that the Eiffel Tower is more than just architecture. It's a living history book. Every beam tells a story, and every hidden corner reveals a chapter of Paris's untold past. The secrets beneath the Eiffel Tower. Number 1. Gustave Eiffel's hidden apartment. At 935 feet, or about 285 meters above the ground, lies a secret many are unaware of. Gustave Eiffel's private apartment, a space that once made Parisian elites green with envy. During the design process, the brilliant engineer added a 990 square foot, which is about 92 square meter, private space just below the tower's highest point. While much of the area housed technical structures like elevator supports and stair platforms, the apartment was fully equipped with a kitchen, bathroom, and lounge, blending functionality with aesthetic charm. What made it even more unique was its classic, understated design. In contrast to the tower's modern architecture, velvet upholstered chairs, intricately carved wooden furniture, and patterned wallpaper created a warm, elegant atmosphere. A piano in the living room added a touch of refinement, making the apartment a charming artistic retreat high above Paris. This wasn't just a place of rest, It also served as a laboratory and hosted luminaries of the time. In September 1889, it was the site of a historic meeting between Gustave Eiffel and the legendary inventor Thomas Edison, a moment still commemorated by 2 wax figures preserved there today. As the highest apartment in Paris at the time, many offered extravagant sums to spend a night there. However, as noted by Henri Girard in La Tour Eiffel de 300 mètres, Eiffel refused every offer. He wanted to keep the space private, dedicating it to scientific pursuits and exclusive meetings. This strict rule was upheld for 92 years after his death. Number 2. The Underground Catacombs beneath the Eiffel Tower. Beyond its secrets in the sky, mysteries also lie beneath the surface. About 197 feet underground, or about 60 meters, a hidden network of tunnels stretches for 186 miles, which is 300 kilometers, a lesser known and seldom discussed aspect of the Eiffel Tower's history. In the late 18th century, as Europe entered the industrial age, Paris faced an unprecedented challenge. The city was running out of burial space. Overcrowded cemeteries, coupled with plagues and rapid population growth, turned graveyards into ticking environmental time bombs. Les Innocents, then the largest cemetery in Paris, became the epicenter of this crisis. Thousands of corpses were buried in layers, releasing a putrid stench that turned the surrounding area into a no-go zone. Shops closed, and life ground to a halt. The real catastrophe struck in May 1780, when heavy rains caused graves to collapse, sending decomposed bodies spilling into residential areas. This horrifying scene forced Paris authorities to take drastic measures, closing all city cemeteries and seeking a new solution for the city of the dead. The answer lay deep beneath the bustling streets of Paris. Beneath its grand avenues and iconic landmarks, an abandoned network of limestone quarries formed a vast underground maze. This labyrinth would become the final resting place for 6 million Parisians. In 1787, an unprecedented operation began. Night after night, horse-drawn carts transported bones from cemeteries to the tunnels, now known as the Catacombs of Paris, with an entrance ominously named Barrière d'Enfer, the Gate of Hell. Initially, bones were haphazardly piled in the dark. Over time, however, they were arranged into eerie yet artistic walls of human remains. The catacombs became the final resting place of many historical figures, including revolutionary Georges Danton, politician Maximilien de Robespierre, and Charles Perrault, the father of timeless fairy tales like Little Red Riding Hood and Cinderella. Ode, only 1.2 miles, or about 1.9 kilometers, of the 186-mile, which is 300-kilometer network, is open to the public. The rest was sealed in 1955, after a series of incidents, including the disappearance of 3 teenagers who were lost in the maze for 3 days in 2017. Number 3, the secrets of paint and steel structure. If the Eiffel Tower could tell its story, it would proudly boast about its 19 remarkable transformations over more than 130 years. Every 7 years, this iconic landmark receives a fresh coat of paint, requiring 60 tons of paint, enough to cover an area the size of 10 football fields. The tower's colorful journey began in 1887 with a vibrant Venetian red chosen carefully in the workshop before the steel beams were even assembled. By 1889, when the tower debuted at the World's Fair, it wore a thick, reddish-brown coat, boldly proclaiming its presence against the Parisian skyline. In 1899, the Eiffel Tower underwent a daring experiment. A 5-tone gradient paint job transitioning from orange at the base to pale yellow at the top. It was the first time a large architectural structure had been painted with such a gradient, an ambitious artistic statement for the dawn of a new century. From 1907 to 1947, spanning 2 world wars, the Eiffel Tower adopted a somber yellow-brown hue, reflecting the trials and tribulations of Paris. In the 1950s, the reddish-brown tone made a comeback, 1954 to 1961, symbolizing the city's post-war revival. In 1968, the tower entered a new era with the creation of Eiffel Brown, a unique blend of 3 shades subtly transitioning from top to bottom. This color was designed not only to protect the steel structure from oxidation, but also to create a visual harmony with the Parisian sky under all weather conditions. Each repainting of the Eiffel Tower is a complex artistic and technical project. Experts meticulously calculate every detail to ensure the paint protects the structure while enhancing its architectural beauty. Today, the tower's distinctive brown has become inseparable from the image of Paris. Each coat of paint is more than just protection. It's a living testament to the Eiffel Tower's 130-year journey, from its bright Venetian red origins to its current understated elegance. Every 7 years, this iron giant dons a new coat, continuing its mission to stand resilient against time, a perfect blend of science and art in contemporary architecture. Number 4, hidden symbols and messages. Under the glowing Parisian sunset, the Eiffel Tower isn't just a breathtaking architectural symbol, it's also a keeper of history through its intricate details. 72 golden names inscribed on the tower tell a special story. A story of brilliant minds who made the Eiffel dream a reality, but also of a historical oversight that cannot be ignored. These names belong to scientists and engineers, visionaries who turned the impossible into the possible. Their names are etched in gold on the metal of the first floor, a declaration of the power of human intellect. Some names had faded over time, but in the 1980s, they were meticulously restored, and recently they've been gilded anew, shining like a beacon of enduring knowledge. Yet, within this golden brilliance lies a tale of injustice. Sophie Germain, a brilliant French mathematician who laid the foundation for elasticity theory, a critical element in constructing the tower, was excluded from this list. It wasn't due to a lack of talent or contribution, but simply because she was a woman. As biographer Morales pointed out, her gender was the sole barrier preventing her from being recognized alongside the 72 men celebrated on the tower. Today, these golden inscriptions under the Eiffel Tower stand as a tribute to the monumental contributions of those who built this wonder. At the same time, they serve as a reminder of the prejudices that once shaped history. Sophie Germain's story is a poignant example of this. She represents an era when intellect was measured not by capability, but by gender, when remarkable achievements could be overshadowed by societal constraints. Her story reminds us that behind every great achievement, there are often individuals who deserve recognition, but were overlooked due to the biases of their time. What do you find most fascinating about this iconic structure? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to uncover more fascinating stories. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.